We're doing too many things. We did not respect even the structure of the. I say we did not play very well first half. I think we did not respect the structure. There were elements of anxiety. Our midfield was often late in executing what was planned. I also felt an element of being overzealous or over anxious because of this 100,000 runs, because I saw uncharacteristic things in that first half, and I tried to club them at half time and change the shape a little bit second half, which I think paid off. Thanks to the substitutes, I think Jerome came in and did very well. Lukele came in and did very well. And that stability that we needed. Then later we had Ulu Lukasa because we wanted the legs, we wanted a younger boy that can run. And then we had options of Sulumane, of Jobe, but we just thought to extend our squad and give these youngsters a chance to show what they can offer. We played him, then we closed the game with Kobeti, which I think worked very well for us, with Cisa as well. But I think the second half was a true reflection of what one would have wanted to see first half. But second half, I think the team dominated and deserved to win the match. And I'm not quite sure, but in my opinion, I think the goal they scored was a handball. But in South Africa, maybe it's not. And I was also surprised when I saw Grobler being the man of the match, because in my opinion, I think Love was exceptionally good today. I think, in my opinion, that boy deserves more credit than what we see, because he's consistent for a young boy like him. He's forever influential in every game that we have played this year. And I really want to give credit to that boy. In as much as I believe most of them are growing the way I want them to grow. But maybe we must also ask our supporters to also come in and support this team. I think now we are closer and closer to playing the football that I think we can play. And when I look at the players that are coming back from injury, I become even more optimistic that we are getting closer and closer to where we want to be. But I need our people, man. I know people of Umlazi, people of Wamashu, people of Lamontville used to come in numbers to support us. And I just think now we are at a stage where the football that this team is playing needs a little bit more from outside. And even if it's young kids that come to support, I think it would be even better, because I think now we are just short of that 12th player to make sure that we get ourselves there. And I must say the smaller crowds that come have also done very well in bringing the noise and making sure that they push this team. But I think from what I wanted to see from these boys, we are above 50% now, and that for me is very big, because I thought maybe we will be where we are after 10, 15 matches in the league. And when I see the progress that I see, I think we can even do better with a little bit more support.
Mqeqeshi, congratulations on winning. Ngicela uyibeke uMakela. Kwi-interview esabanayo nawe iqala isizini, wayipredict-a le nto ukuthi izokwenza ko-Golden Arrows, ukuthi izolokhu ikhula njalo. Mhlampe ngiyazi ukuthi usukubekile ukuthi how far ngokubuka kwakho. Iyathusa ngendlela ama-players adapte ngayo lawa amancane. Kade sikhuluma noNdlovu this week, ukuvezile ukuthi indlela emkhuluma ngayo dressing room yona le ebasizayo abafana abancane ukuthi ba-adapte nesitayile sakho. Are you surprised ukuthi abafana abancane bavele ba-adapta ngokushesha kanje? Okunye kubaluleke kangakanani nje umqeqeshi ukuthi kumele i-project abheke yona leyo project, because sinento esike siyibona la ebholeni ku-PSL ukuthi umqeqeshi uyathi akhe projects efesa kwamanye amaklabhu ekugcina sekulimaza i-project ayakhala ukuthi abadlali agcine sebedayisa kwamanye amaklabhu.
Yeah, man, there are players that have surprised me. Kuyiqiniso lo khona ama-players ebengingalindele ukuthi this early they would be where they are. But mangibuka i-conditioning ye-team yami, Eduardo has done umsebenzi omkhulu kakhulu in that space with his department, Umdu, Usendi. I think they've done very well. And also our medical team has also done very well to make sure that we've got the squad closer and closer and closer. The only players that we have lost are players that have had long-term injuries from last season. But otherwise, we always have a good pool of players. But in terms of the fitness level of the team, I'm telling you, they are very fit. And that excites me because we don't use our norms when we check the metrics in terms of the condition of these boys. I can tell you in terms of their metrics, most of them are above what we saw in the Club World Cup in terms of the intensity, the high speed running, the sprints, the distance, accelerations. We are there physically, and that encourages me because we are fortunate to have a very quick team. And when we've got a quick team that also has got intensity, that has got longevity in terms of the distances, 12 kilometers is something we cover very easily with most of the players in the team now. And that for me speaks very well in terms of our tactical periodization, in terms of our orientations and animations of how we want the team to play. When the team is fit, you know we will arrive because it's not easy for the aides to arrive in the white channels if they are not fit and if they don't have the intensity that these boys have. So iqiniso kuyathembisa ukuthi siya la sifuna ukuya khona, and I'm doing a lot of video analysis with this team because I'm a firm believer that the brain works better with a picture. When the pictures are engraved in their heads and they can see what we are trying to do, because we have to take step by step in everything we are doing to make sure that they don't lose track of what we are trying to do. That's why I was so surprised first half when I see a completely different structure from what I wanted to see from my 2 8s, what I wanted to see from my 2 10s. But second half, I think the players that came in, and maybe a big improvement, even Uzwane second half, big improvement. Manqoba is always the heartbeat, but in the first half he was all over the place. But in terms of managing his half space, I think he did very well second half, and no wonder we had such an improvement in terms of performance second half.
Umqeqeshi ubuza ngesizulu ube omunye abaqeqeshi phambilini ubuye wakhalaza kakhulu ngendlela amaqembu achitha ngakhona isikhathi ayo. If I'm not mistaken, you did mention ukuthi out of 90 minutes sometimes you play with less than 50 minutes ibhola lisegroundini. I've noticed khona narrows whether they leading on training kuba liqembu eliqhubekayo lidlale lingachithi isikhathi. Mhlambe influence yakho mayelana nama-challenges owabhekana nawo ngesikhathi useqendini ebekade lijwayele ukulinda, or else mhlambe indlela ofuna ukuthi ukhulise ngakhona iy'ngane lapho narrows. Also my last question, ngifisa ukwazi ukuthi ushintshe kuphi ngoDion?
No, the reality, the reason why the ball is not in play a lot in South Africa is because most teams don't play possession-based football. Most teams kick it forward, and if it's windy, it goes out. If it's headed, maybe second ball, then from there it's a shorted goal, percentage football, and that makes teams not to have the condition to sustain good football actions for longer periods if the ball is kept in the pitch for longer. And that's where if you look at our first half, versus our second half, and you look at the same thing from the opposition, you'd realize that there is a big drop in terms of intensity on their side, because we've got the ball in the pitch and the ball is moving, and we want them to react to the movement of the ball. And that most teams would never be accustomed to deal with that consistently for the entire game. And we try the best we can to do what we think is constructive in football. But that does not mean we are the best. We still make silly mistakes here and there. We lose the ball cheap, give the ball to the opponents. But we've got a good counter pressure because the team is quick, the team is fit. Even when we lose it, if we lose it from a vertical pass, we already know we've got a chance of regaining it back because we've got bodies behind the ball to take care of the situation. And as for Dion, I think it's just training, nothing much.
Coach, 3 wins on the trot. Now you talk about that the team is getting there where you want. 3 wins on the trot. What does it mean? With the point of emphasizing that you are getting there. Of course, we lost this competition last year with another club. I mean, is that something that you want? Maybe this season go further that competition and then maybe do better this time around.
No, I'll be lying if I say I'm focusing on that with this team. This team, I'm still nursing the process. I'm still nursing the setbacks that may come and make sure that the process goes according to plan. You are looking at it in the 3 consecutive wins. I'm looking at it in terms of the 6 consecutive good performances because from the Chiefs' performance, I think the team performed well. Polokwane City were just unfortunate. Sekhukhune were also very unfortunate in the first match. But I'm seeing what I was complaining about a lot last season, if you would remember. I was complaining about consistency in football actions from most of the players. Today they had a very good game, tomorrow something else. And we were chopping and changing the squad, trying to find solutions. But this year we are able to keep maybe 80-90% of the squad. And already it's getting closer and closer for people to say what is the best starting 11 for Arrows. And for me, that's very positive. For me, that is very positive.
Coach, you mentioned the issue of resenting the issue that fans, supporting you guys at the stadium. So my question is there anything currently a team that is doing and the marketing perspective like that you're doing, because it's last season you guys were paying it Hammersmith and now you've moved back to MNAS, and even before that season you're paying it Princess Marble. Maybe just that reshuffle, maybe don't you think as a team that is confusing the fans, and if there's like a proper or enough of marketing that you guys do in terms of letting fans know that you're now based at MNAS for this whole season?
I know there's been some activations that the club has done, more especially with 10Bet. But I'm not a firm believer in that. I think the best activation for supporters to support you is the football you play. And if the football is enticing, the one who came to the stadium must always tell the others, hey, what I saw, or the one that was watching it on TV must say, I think next time I want to see this thing live. And if the team plays well and it gets results, for me that's the best way of asking the supporters to come and watch, because the process is looking like it's taking shape, and that is it for me.
Evening, Coach.
Yes.
Congrats on the win today. It was a quick turnaround between the last time you guys played Sekhukhune in the league, end of last month, a couple of weeks ago. So tactically preparing for Eric Tinkler's men, was it a lot easier this time around to sort of prepare on what's coming from Sekhukhune, or was it a little bit more tricky to prepare for them in such a quick turnaround?
I think it was very easy to plan for this team. From the first match, I think their football is the same every week. If you can deal with the long ball that is played to Grobler, and you can deal with Maghalwa when it comes from the right, from the left, and it comes inside. You can deal with today Ramala, who plays as a wing-back on the left and is left-footed. You deal with Mukhaila on the outside and make sure that there's not enough crosses that come to the box. You force the game not to be in your half a lot, because when it's not in your half a lot, it forces Grobler to work very hard. And we deal with all these elements that we dealt with in the previous match, and we knew that there's not much that will change.
Thank you, coach. Colleagues, thank you. I say, I'm my players. Thank you.